So a question we will have to face, all of us, most of us will have to face sometime in our lives, is whether to get a new car, a used car, or to get a lease. And I want to go over some of the trade-offs between the two, or between the three. And like I said before, nothing is free. And there are always trade-offs with the choices you make. So I just wanted to go over that so you're well informed. And then finally, we'll close with some suggestions on which one of these is best. All right. So I'm going to start with a new car. And when I say new car, I mean purchase the car new and hold the car for about 7 to 10 years. So it's a buy new and hold strategy. Okay. And why you get a new car? There's a lot of reasons. Okay. One, of course, is that it's more safe and more reliable. So if you are planning to hold this car for 7 to 10 years, then, well, you need to get most safety features out of it. You know, I recently bought a new car 2-3 years ago, and it has like 7-8 airbags, right? So a new car, more safety features. Also, a new car is more likely to be reliable. You buy it new, you don't inherit problems from previous owners. And if you treat it right, it's going to continue to be reliable, all right? Financing is also more aggressive with new cars. So, for example, financing could be like my new car, when I bought it, I bought it about 1% financing. So it's pretty aggressive, right? Then also transparent pricing. If you look online, you could see invoice prices of cars. And because all the cars are kind of in the same playing field, a new car is a new car. You know, if you buy a blue new car at one Honda dealer and you buy another blue car at another Honda dealer, they're the same, right? So there's not much difference. So pricing is more leveled and more transparent. And also, what's cool is new car, you get a lot more options. You know, I particularly didn't even do any options. Just the standard car was perfectly fine for me, right? But there are some costs. You know, we have to be cognizant that there are costs, and it will cost more for a brand new car. Not only cost up front, but also in terms of depreciation. When you drive that car off the lot, let's say the car was $20,000, they say it depreciates about 20%. So, you know, you bought a car for 20, but then when you drive it off the lot, it's kind of worth like 16 if you tried to sell it the next day, right? So how about used cars? Okay, there are some benefits, and you know, a lot of finance people love used cars, and there are benefits to it. So one of the biggest benefits, of course, is cost. If it's a used car, it will cost less, and there's much less depreciation. So let's say I buy a used car for $10,000. My depreciation, if I tried to sell it the next day, maybe $9,500, you know? So much less of a gap, right? Pricing, there are some cons though. Pricing is less transparent with used cars. You know, there's so many factors that could change the price of a car. Plus, at the same time too, there's so many ranges of how much a car costs. So, you know, pricing is a little bit less transparent, you know. Financing is more difficult also with used cars, all right? And also, you inherit. You're more likely to inherit other people's problems, and you're more likely to have issues with, with your used car, simply because it's older. And also, you know, if someone sells it, there's a possibility that, you know, maybe they had issues with it, and that's why they sold it off, right? So nothing's free. There's always trade-offs, right? Leases, okay, well, I want to talk about leases now. Leases, there are pros on it, there are benefits. And cool thing with lease is there is little cash up front. There might be some small down payment and small monthly payments. But, it's less cash up front. There's no maintenance. Anyway, I just want to go back here. Less cash, we also mean like smaller monthly payments. No maintenance. There's no maintenance on leased cars at all, so that's really cool too. So if you're bad with maintenance, they handle it for you. And this is why I think a lot of people get new cars. You get a new car every 3 to 5 years, and of course, with that 3 to 5 year new car, you get that new smell of brand new car. Everyone loves that brand new smell of new car. There are some restrictions. There are negatives, and there's restrictions on leases. You know, you can only go X amount of miles. And there are rules that are in place. And this is the big one. It's more expensive in the long run. And why is that? You just told me that my payments are smaller up front. Yes, your payments are smaller up front, but because, one, you don't build equity, And two, equity, you don't actually build value because you don't eventually end up owning the car. And two, because it's more expensive because the depreciation. So we talked about when you took a new car and you drove it off the lot, it depreciated. It's the same thing with a lease. There's depreciation of that car. And who's going to take the cost of that is not the dealer. It's going to be you, because you will pay, you will take the largest depreciation for that car, right? Because you bought it at a new price. Okay. So what do we here suggest at Finance for the Layman? Well, I wish I had a clear-cut answer, but it depends on what type of person you are, right? So if safety and reliability is the highest importance to you, and you can also afford it, I really do suggest getting a new car. A good, reliable new car, mid-price range, nothing too crazy, nothing expensive, and hold it for 7 to 10 years. You'll do well in the long term as well. If cost is the most important to you, and and you're okay with having to deal a little bit with more issues, hopefully you do more research to deal with this negative inheriting people's problems. If cost is more important to you than getting a used car, okay, cost, getting a used car is the way to go. All right? For leases, I really don't suggest leases at all. Like I said, cost more in the long run. So, I would really stay away from this and really just stick to one of those two. All right? So good luck in your car purchase, and I will talk to you soon.